Hi guys, welcome to A24.com YouTube channel. My name is Vadim and today I will comment and you will watch the video how to disassemble the iPhone 11 Pro. Disassembly has a third difficulty or hard in our difficulty classification and will be disassembled by detaching the display module. Let's start disassembling. First of all, unscrew two screws on the end of the phone. We use a pentalobe screwdriver. We heated the display surface to 70 Celsius degree or 158 Fahrenheit degree. As always, to unscrew the screws and removing parts when disassembling the iPhone, you will need enough large and free area on the table. In some places you can set paper sheets with comments explaining the location of the parts and screws. It will help to avoid possible difficulties during reassembly. We arm ourselves with a thin plastic piece and start separating the display module. The display is glued remarkably tight along the contour, and as I understand it, the device has not been repaired yet. As you can see, we spray some isopropyl alcohol to help dry the glue. And we need one more tool, suction cup. Apparently we didn't heat up enough, and it may be necessary to warm the phone on the heating mat additionally. Now let's try using a thinner plastic sheet. In fact, we are putting it into the side or border, and so far we haven't been able to get under the gluing. We cannot pass the plastic sheet between the display and the housing. Nothing has worked out, of course, because we don't rush, we are careful, as we are responsible for this device. We will use many tools for disassembly, and first it is a hair dryer or heating mat, dry ejection tool, suction cup, opening tools, mainly plastic sheets, tweezers, next screwdrivers, Phillips screwdriver 1.5mm or #30 or crosshead, Phillips iPhone 2.5mm screwdriver with thin tips on the end, and then pentalobe or star or 5.0.8mm screwdriver, 3-wing 2.0mm or Y30. I will put accents when disassembling each instrument so that you don't get confused. Disassembly will take approximately 30 to 40 minutes. Similarly, it makes no sense to continue, and we will hit the surface of the display again. We will put it on a heating mat for 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes has passed, and we continue to try open the display. We also use a plastic sheet and suction cup. Use or spray isopropyl alcohol to dry the glue base. And it seems to me that we could push the plastic under the adhesive layer. We need to go through one round more, and after select the thicker plastic sheet. The phone is not just gluing, but has other fastening methods like clips. We need to cut the plastic because the front edge has lost its stiffness and crumpled. We cut it and continue to go around with the plastic sheet at the edge. We will warm it a little more, probably another 5 minutes. And we continue to open. After the last heating, the plastic goes much better, and I have I see has a gap. Trying to use alcohol at the top where the upper cameras, front cameras, do not damage the sensor or cameras or Face ID. It's better to warm it up a little more. The phone turn it on, it's okay. We turn it off and continue. Let's continue. We put the phone vertically and move the plastic sheet along the edge. Try not to push the tools deeply so as not to damage anything accidentally. Let's try to pull out the glue, but unfortunately it doesn't stretch. In some devices you can gently pull out the adhesive layer, but in this is not our case. Neatly at the top, I've already talked about it. It remains just a little bit to push, and yes, we can open it. Find something to support the display, and we are preparing screwdrivers. Okay, now screwdriver 3 wing 2.0 mm or Y30 and a screw, and remove the bracket holding the battery connector. We disconnect the battery connector. By the way, we forgot about the second battery connector at this time. We will show its location a little later. We continue to unscrew the screws further. And next, disconnect the cables to the display module and carefully remove the display. We can remove the adhesive, but because we cannot use it again. Now screwdriver 3 wing 2.0 mm again. We unscrew the screws to get to the cameras. Remove the brackets, and now we can disconnect the camera's connectors. As we can see, there are 3 cables, and we can take out the rear camera's assembly. And then we disconnect the connectors, take out the front camera's assembly. And put them aside. Disconnect the rest of the cables on the board. disconnect the connectors of the large flat cable that goes to the lightning port. We can also unscrew two screws and remove the bracket holding the cables. Next, we need to remove the card tray. Use an ejection tool. Our tool looks weird, and I think you should have a typical ejection tool that comes with the device. We can start removing the printed circuit board. To do this, we need Phillips iPhone 2.5mm screwdriver, and we call it a barrel screwdriver, and unscrew the screws. And it seems to me that nothing can stop us from removing the motherboard. As you can see, the board is small but thick and doubled. Okay, moving on to the bottom flat cable. Take a 3-wing screwdriver 2.0mm or Y30. There will be many screws and different ones, so remember or write down each location. Okay, there is the place where we missed the second battery connector. But of course, it needs to be disconnected first. Both battery connectors must be disconnected at the same time. Phillips screwdriver 1.5mm and unscrew the two screws securing the loudspeaker. We also need to unscrew one barrel screw with a Phillips iPhone 2.5mm. Now we remove the loudspeaker. It's glued to the housing from the edge, so you need to pry it a little. The next step is the Taptic engine, aka vibration motor. We unscrew the screws, two screws with a three-wing and one barrel screw with Philips iPhone 2.5mm. Disconnect the connectors and remove the vibration motor. Screwdriver Phillips 1.5mm, and now we unscrew the screw and remove the bracket. It's glued, by the way, so you need to be careful. Okay, and set bracket aside. We need to see what other screwdrivers we need and start removing the lightning port. Okay, again Philips iPhone 2.5mm screwdriver, 3 barrels to unscrew. Then continue with the 3 wing 2.0mm. Unscrew the screws on the sides. Now screwdriver Phillips 1.5mm crosshead, unscrew the 2 screws securing the charging or lightning port to the housing. So after visual examination we can figure that we can try to remove and unpeel the cable. Try, take time, do not rush, peel it off from the surface of the housing. It has two spots where the cable is thin or weak to damage. Be careful not to tear anything in these areas. We remove the cable with a lighting port and we will move to remove the battery. Finding the tabs on the adhesive tapes and try to pull them out. So far nothing has been working. Although the adhesive tape is short, but we only tear off the tabs. So the one peel off, pull out. Now we completely succeed. We should understand in what place the tabs are, what we turn off and what we should pull out. After you peel off the tab, it's not quite clear where it is better to pull. And again we tore the tab off. Okay, now we tore off almost all the tabs and couldn't get under the battery and pull out the glue lines. Therefore, we will do it in the, I would say, old proven way. We take a large piece of plastic sheet and spray some alcohol. At this point, be careful not to damage the wireless charging cable. The charging cable remains under the plastic sheet and the battery cable above it. Gently push the sheet under the battery. Now let's try to pick up the battery. So we disconnect the battery and remove the remnants of the glue, and we made it almost brilliantly. Okay guys, now we're done. Thank you for watching. It was a pleasure to comment this video for you. You guys remember the drill: watch, like or dislike, subscription, comment, and take care of yourself.
Hi guys, thank you for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe, share, rate us, and see you in the next video.